On today's podcast, we're going to be covering keeping both feet on the ground, so stay tuned.
Welcome to Warehouse Safety Tips. If you're a seasoned vodcast viewer, this vodcast is going to be different from most that you watch. It's based around exactly what the name implies, warehouse safety tips. And since the people in this industry are busy, we know that time is money, so each episode will be as short and to the point as possible. And now, with all that out of the way, let's get to the vodcast.
Many of our messages are simple and to the point. And as I've mentioned in past episodes, many of the messages we deliver on this podcast come from experiences in facilities and/or life. Our message today is one from life, but certainly one that can happen in facilities all the time, and that's slipping. Our son plays high school football. This time of the year in Ohio, it's not out of the ordinary for there to be rain, snow, and/or ice present. But for what I'm about to mention, just being damp is enough. Enough for what? Enough to make metal bleachers become incredibly slippery to walk on. Before finding a seat this week, I almost wiped out twice in just a couple minutes. At the same game, there were kids running and sliding on the bleachers, risky business style as well. A month or so ago, I mentioned that we've covered this topic before and that we'd cover it again. This is going to be no different. It's just that important. I mentioned the following items as potential ways to cut down incidents. If you're in an area with regular rain, snow, and/or ice, stamp and wipe your shoes or boots off at entrances. Have mats and/or fans at entrances and areas that get slick. Make sure there are floor markings and/or signs alerting staff that areas are slick. Use floor markings and/or signs with non-slip properties. Anything that has a grip is awesome. Have maintenance regularly mop slick areas. And one of the most important tips of all, if you see that an area is wet or slick, alert the proper people and do one or several of the above mentioned tips. Now, something that I neglected to mention that should be common sense, but many times unfortunately isn't, is not taking chances and/or participating in horseplay. Remember the kids mentioned above that were purposely sliding? Now, even though it's a movie reference, it is risky business. If you know that an area is one where slips and falls are possible, work with maintenance and management to remedy the situation as thoroughly as possible. And even though it might take you back to your youth or look fun, never try to slide and/or take part in any horseplay while at work. Your safety and the safety of your coworkers should never slip your mind.
Before moving on, here's a word from one of our sponsors. If you've ever been to or worked in a warehouse, you know just how important safety is to both management and staff. It's almost impossible to go 10 steps without seeing safety tape, angles, signs, and/or safety products. It's these items that show us how to be safe and avoid danger in the workplace. And if you're looking for the best products to make this happen, look no further than Mighty Line. Mighty Line floor signs and floor markings offer the best industrial products out there. We're proud to have Mighty Line as the official floor sign and floor marking company for the Warehouse Safety Tips podcast and site. Go to mightylinetape.com/safety tips to request a sample pack of their incredible safety signs and floor markings. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Warehouse Safety Tips. If you visit warehousesafetytips.com, you'll find the show notes for this episode and access to all of our blog posts, previous podcasts, advertiser information, and much more. Thank you for listening to Warehouse Safety Tips and have a safe day.